Thank you once again for availing yourself and joining this dialogue, our second dialogue for i-CMiiST project, which is implementing creative methodological innovation for inclusive sustainable transport planning, i-CMiiST. Today, just to ask an hypothetical question. So our theme today talks about safe streets. So what is a safe street? And how, in a creative way, can we make it safe? So this exercise, I have colored papers here, and I want you to just rise up, pick up any paper, and give your thoughts. Only one. So the question is, what is a safe street? Our creative illustrator is Linda. I know by the end of this dialogue, she would have drawn all of you. So, have we all brought our cards? The second exercise, very brief and quick also. What creative method do you think we need to, or can we adopt to make our streets friendly in cycling and walking? What creative method? So taking us into this discussion, we'll have two presentations. Just to give us an overview of some of the things that you have already written here. In doing that, we'll have a 7 minutes presentation by two team leaders. That is for Ring Road and Luthuli Avenue. For Ring Road, we'll have Constant Cup, and Luthuli will have Mark Ojal. So I want to call you guys on stage. Yeah, you were there. So to start us off will be Constant, and then Mark.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Use this one.
Great. This must be better. I'll just call Isaac and Abu to come to the front. So we've got two sites in this project. We have Luthuli Avenue, that's led by Mark, and then Ring Road Kilimani, that I'm leading and running together with a small team of urban enthusiasts. And then we've got, you may have not met Alicia, who's working on both sides, and then we've got lots of participatory stuff going on. So just to give you an idea of Ring Road Kilimani, so this is as the street as it was in 2004, just to quickly take you through the site. This is Yaya Center. This is the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. This is Agwin's Kotek Road. And this is where Equity Bank currently stands. So you may or may not, this is a French school. You may or may not be, if you're familiar with that place, you kind of like now have an idea what we're talking about. So our study area is this entire road to look at sustainable, creative methodologies that we can use to improve sustainable and inclusive transit in the area. So that is 2004. This is 2011. You can see a couple of changes, change in land use around here. If you look behind and now, those were houses turned into businesses. A couple of changes also on the street here. This road was opened up a bit, and then this is currently at December last year. Okay, we've got a new garage here. We've got those car bazaars. We've got the funny bus stop that we all know about, and lots of densification and big change here with the street. So you can identify here changes that have an impact on the population of the area, that have an impact on the transport of the area, of the mobility of the area. So we've done lots of on-the-site analysis, viewing, doing this in comparison to other streets in different locations, and we've identified certain challenge areas, for instance, like the junction, cycle areas, which we'll explain to you. We recently held a participatory mapping session, which Isaac will take you through, and we've also had some engagement with people on the street, which Abu will take you through. A few weeks ago, we sat down we interviewed about 40 residents, asking them on what they think would be a priority in the area, and gave them these 5 options. Okay, urban greenery, creative pedestrian crossings, street furniture, creative bus stops and bike parking, directional signs for pedestrians. These are just ideas we got from looking at different cities, different towns, and creative ways in which people have enhanced transportation and mobility in different parts of the world. And the interventions came out with this rank. The majority of the people we interviewed were into urban greenery, or preferred urban greenery, followed by creative pedestrian crossings, followed by directional signs, more of wayfinding, then creative bus stops, and the last thing that many thought of was street art and furniture. This had a bit of a bias because it was done during a street festival, so the majority of people who were there were middle class and upper middle class people who generally drive. And Abu will take you briefly through his interactions with the informal sector, pedestrians and cyclists. We also did a participatory mapping that Isaac can just briefly take you through.
Yeah, so I'm Isaac, and we have 7 minutes, so we'll really try and be quick. We did some participatory mapping, which is basically one of the creative methodologies that we thought about. Simply, asking the community or using the community to come up with the maps rather than ourselves. So what we did is we just had a sheet of satellite image, then we oriented them like this is, so we showed them that's Yaya Center, this is Agungskodek to town, this is towards Kileleshwa, and this is towards Ngong Road. So after they got their bearing, we'd give them the stickers and ask them, can you please point to us the roads that you use and which point do you feel comfortable and uncomfortable. And we did not use the conventional colors like red to show discomfort and yellow to show comfort. We switched them. So the red show the comfort, the areas of comfort, and the yellow show the areas of discomfort. So from this, since we use the Kilimani Street Festival, the results were biased on 2 things. One is the residents and non-residents. They would find that they give biased information, or the type of road user. So the person who is walking or who walks and the person who cycles would have different areas of comfort and different areas of discomfort as opposed to the person who drives. So as you can see, the red spots near Yaya Center, those are areas of comfort. So majority of the residents there, they really prefer Yaya Center. One of the reasons why is they say that it's indoors, first of all, and separated from traffic, and guys, they are calling them idle guys. And also towards Lenana Road, where they're saying that there is well non-motorized transport facilities, so they can walk, and guys who jog, they can jog. Yeah, and some areas of discomfort came at the junction and also at Wood Avenue. Majorly, they were pointing towards the lack of street lights, so they can't really walk. At Wood Avenue, they are pointing that there is the PSV, or the Matatu junction, which is an informal one for Kawangware guys. So one can easily get hit around there. They also pointed out Wood Avenue, the all of it. They are pointing out that recently it has experienced a lot of changes in terms of construction. So you might be passing there and there is lots of dust when you're walking, or there's a lot of noise when you're walking. Also, some also pointed along Ring Road, towards Adlife Plaza, where they're saying that as you walk towards the left side, there is no pedestrian path. So it stops, or it's provided on the other side, so they feel much more comfortable towards the side of Yaya than this side. Yeah, so these are some of the findings that we got through participatory mapping.
Good evening, Urbanites. So we went now to do field research for all the other users that we could find on site. We used 5 modes of transport, basically the matatu, including matatu, taxi, boda boda, cars, cyclists, and pedestrians. So for the taxis and cars, those are personal vehicles and other small cars, we put them in one category. And we had some particular findings. We had factors that we were measuring against these modes of transport. Among them, safety and security. Most of the people on ground preferred or had a point of view that they're best safe when they're in their personal vehicles or taxis, specifically Ubers, as they are most secure and safe modes of transport, followed by pedestrians. Pedestrians, then the boda people. They really have a point of view that cyclists do not have a lot of safety there, mainly because of insecurity issues, especially during night hours. Then, interestingly enough, on the travel time among them during the day and the night, as expected, some of us would expect that maybe the cyclists, the two-wheeled modes of transport, would have a faster go during the night. But then we got to realize, we got some input that cars and pedestrians actually move better at night, although pedestrians were put on the side, as in they were opted not to walk during at night because of, again, security issues. So the travel times, the interesting input about travel times is that the boda and the cars got a better time travel. And on personal, we also had factors of personal health, organization, and environmental impact. When I was trying to interact and explain what all these mean in the relation for them to rank, which is the best preferred or the least preferred, or which one has the best impact, most people actually are of the view that you have better personal health and better environmental impact in the cars and the taxis, especially Uber people. I got an interesting businessman saying that anything to do with cycling for him is not, or walking would not bring any environmental or personal health gains, because when you're in your vehicle, you're safe, and you are away from injuries and such kind of things that come along with cycling and pedestrians. On access, well, we're asking specifically how easily they can access any of these modes during the day or the night. But then most people do not think that pedestrian access is the best fit or free of them all at either times. The most preferred again was the Uber, and then followed by the matatu. Most of them really rely on the two personal vehicles and the matatus. And then we also had their preference and inclusivity. Inclusivity, we checked on inclusivity of women, children, and PWDs. Sorry. On the inclusivity part, a lot of the people that we interviewed really had a worry for women and children, because most of them were either, if they're not in their vehicles, then they are nowhere close to enjoying any of the facilities provided for using any of these modes of transport. So those are the interesting responses we got. Thank you.